Yeah.
Hi, Anthony.
How are you?
Hi, Anthony.
Good.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Of course, we are so excited about this. Our listeners, I did think that Anthony was going to flake because last time he actually had something that happened in his house. And I was like, I really hope, though, that he does come on because people want to hear from you. Are you surprised that people want to hear from you?
I mean, yeah, a little bit, being that it's been 15 years since the show aired and we all kind of got back to our regular lives a little bit. That it's funny, when we were doing the first season, one of the production assistants or one of the producers had said, and this is before season 1 had even aired, they said, right, for the rest of your life, people are going to, recognize you and are going to, know who you are. And I was like, get out of here. Like, because at the time I thought we were doing one season and that was going to be it. Like it was going to be one season, one and done. I didn't even know if anybody was going to watch it. But 15 years later, I mean, March, it's going to be 15 years since season 1 aired.
Wow.
For 15 years later to still be like doing a podcast and, answering questions. It's kind of weird. And it just aims that what he said that day was true.
Yeah. Do people still recognize you when you're out and about?
Yeah. People still recognize me. It's definitely slowed down a lot since, over the years, but from time to time, yes, definitely still I watch the show. I watch the show and I remember you from the show, stuff like that. But definitely, yes, not as much as it used to be, but definitely yes.
Catch us up. Where are you today?
I'm sorry?
I said, catch us up. Where are you today?
Where am I today? I mean, I'm here. I'm at the salon. I'm still here. I'm still here 5 days a week. I'm still behind the chair 5 days a week. Still doing my thing. Me still playing father, husband, doing my normal stuff. Everything that you saw on the show, I'm still kind of doing.
Yeah, and do you have 2 kids?
I have one. I have little Anthony.
Okay. Aw. Okay.
He was 6 months old the first season that we filmed. Now, just to give you a time, he was 6 months old when we started filming the show, and next month he's going to celebrate his 16th birthday. So I'm in the process right now of getting him ready to get his learner's permit for driving.
Wow.
That is crazy. Has he ever watched the show and been like, what is this?
He's watched a few episodes, but he's never really seen it from beginning to end.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right, so Anthony, I'm not sure if you know, but we had Tracy on and we also had Frankie, but we were absolutely shooketh because Tracy told us that mostly everything on the show was fake and we had no idea. I'm rewatching and I had no idea that this show was fake. What?
Well, yeah. Go ahead, finish. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to ask, like, what was your thoughts on that? Did you listen to that interview with Tracy?
I saw parts of it. I didn't see the whole thing, to be honest with you.
Okay.
But I did see pieces of it. And
yeah.
I mean, fake. Listen, I mean, there's not a reality show out there that's going on that's 100% reality. Okay. Those camera guys, those sound guys, they get a lot of money to put those cameras up on their shoulder. So when they're putting those cameras up on their shoulder, they're making sure that they're getting what they want to get. Yes, was it a little bit more dramatized than I thought it would be when we first did it? Yes, but I understood real quick where they were going with it and what they wanted. And you got to understand something too. See, Tracy and Olivia, that's who the show was about. It was their show. We were ancillary characters, even though we were main cast. We were ancillary characters based around them. So the show was their show. It was about the two of them. I mean, if you watched it, you could see that from the beginning. It was the Tracy and Olivia show. Now, we all had our own parts in it. The show was very good to me. But yes, I mean, was it 100% reality? No, but I don't think there's a show out there that's 100% reality.
Well, how did you get involved with Jerseylicious to begin with?
So originally, years ago, when it first, like a year or so before the show was even filmed, someone came into my salon, my other salon, my original salon, and they had asked to take pictures of it, and they didn't tell me what it was for. So they took some pictures of it, and they talked to me a little bit. I never heard from them. And then 2 years later, or a year or so, I forget how long it was, but a friend of mine who was friends with my sister who works with me said that they're doing some show about New Jersey salons and, they got your name, and you want to go out and speak to the producers out in New York. So at first I said no. And then after a little bit of convincing, I decided to go and do it. And when I got out there to New York to talk with the producers, they're like, wait a minute, we remember you. We talked to you. We were in your salon. So they didn't pick me for the original. There was an original cast that was picked for the show that I wasn't a part of.
Oh.
But I think they shot a pilot, and the network, Style Network, didn't like the way that original pilot was shot. So they made them go back and recast it. And that's how me, Gail, and a few other ones got on the show. Christy, we weren't part of the original cast. But Tracy and Olivia were.
Oh, that is so interesting. So is it true that you worked with Gail before? Is that real?
Well, no, I knew Gail before.
Okay. But on the show, they made it like you worked with Gail before you got your own salon.
No, that part, I never worked with Gail.
Okay.
That was done for filming purposes. But like I said, we knew each other. We had a professional relationship, but I never did work there during the filming of the show. Wow.
Why do you think they wanted it to look like you? Well, I guess because while you're getting your new salon, you're working at her salon.
Right. But like I said, I was doing some renovations on my salon. So they took a truth. I was renovating my salon. Right. I was still working in my salon while I was now this wasn't this salon. This was my other salon. I was still open while I was doing some painting and getting new chairs and doing some renovation. They just took that and blew it up. Yeah. And that's TV. That's how they do. That's how they make TV.
Wow. So, but your relationship with Gail, it was only because they made it like you guys were very, very close. Like you guys had a close relationship, but it sounds like you guys were both in the hair industry. And so,
we had some mutual acquaintances, some mutual friends, and we had met each other through the show, but I mean, before the show, but we weren't like buddy.
Okay. So, when we talk about the show being fake, we find out that these people didn't actually work for you. So when people called your salon and said, hey, can I have Olivia or Tracy do my hair and makeup? What did you tell them?
Well, what I did was I had Olivia come in a couple. I actually went with it, and I had, and Tracy will tell you, and I'm sure if you ever speak to Olivia, I had them come in the salon a couple days and work, and they did do some clients a few times.
Wow.
Because they did it for Gil's. They didn't do it for the other salon.
I think there was a couple times we all went to the Gatsby and worked a real day.
Really? Yeah. But I'm talking about outside of filming. So outside of filming, did you have them come to your salon outside of filming?
I did. No, I did. I had Tracy a couple times.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's super.
I had Olivia a couple times too.
Just because at Gil's, they said that they never worked there outside, and that the people who were actually worked at the salon would get annoyed about the fact that people were calling in for them.
Yes, that definitely that happened here as well. But I actually brought them in a few times, and they did a couple days here, and they did 2 clients. It wasn't all the time. It wasn't like I wouldn't call them employees, but they did do a couple of special events here.
Did they ever think about working full time? I mean, it's what they were going to do anyways. Like, I'm surprised that they just didn't do it.
I don't think so. I don't think once the show aired, I think they got that right out of their head real quick.
So I wanted to tell you something. When we asked our listeners to ask you questions, Tracy responded and she said, hopefully he tells the truth about it and me. What does she mean when she says that? That
Tracy was definitely 100% portrayed as a person that she is not. Tracy's wonderful. Tracy's a sweetheart. I couldn't say enough about Tracy. And I'll tell you the same thing about Olivia. You got to remember, I had a different experience.
Yeah.
I'm 52 years old. Okay. Right. So I was in my late 30s when that show started airing. I was married. I had a young son. I had a business. I was not where they were.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they treated me like, my relationship with both of them was fantastic. Now, did Tracy give them what they wanted? They wanted the villain, and Tracy gave them the villain. It's like, if you can't beat them, join them. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
Outside of the show, I will tell you, Tracy, I'm going to tell you a real quick funny story. I didn't know Tracy at the time really well. It was during filming first season. So we had these things that were called interviews, where, when we speak to ourselves, when we like speak and we're talking about the scene.
Yeah.
The confessionals.
Like the confessional, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We used to call them interviews.
Yeah.
But it was during season 1, and I forget they used to schedule us for these times for interviews. And I remember I had something to do, something with my son. I think it was a birthday party, or I don't remember what it was, but I needed to switch. And they're like, well, you could ask Tracy to switch with you. And I didn't, like I said, I don't know her, and it was like a Saturday night or something. I'm like, Trey, would you mind? She switched with me in a heartbeat. Like, she was always the one. She was always on time. She never held up filming. I mean, there were times other cast members, would be late to set and everything like that.
Yeah.
And I can tell you what, though, they told us to be there at 10:30. Tracy was there at 10 o'clock.
Yeah. Were you like that too?
I was always early.
Yeah.
Me and Tracy were the first two ever at anything.
Oh my
And
God.
that pisses me off so much. If I'm just waiting and waiting and waiting, I would get so annoyed.
There was a lot of waiting, even when everybody was on time. There was a lot of waiting. It was definitely hurry up and wait.
And was your wife really, I mean, in the first, I think 2 seasons, there was like a moment where your wife was getting annoyed because you're hanging out with the younger guys. And as a wife, I would get very annoyed. But was she like actually annoyed about that? Or did she know it was like part of the show?
I mean, she knew it was part of the show.
Yeah. Filippo also asked, how honored were you to work with such a legend as myself?
Eugene was the best. I mean, he was another one. I loved him. I mean, I still love him. He just had a baby himself. So he was. But Philly and me always had a good relationship, and like I said, he's a pisser.
Yeah. When the show ended, did you maintain a relationship with anyone?
I mean, again, not really. Other than Gail and Christy, who's probably who I stayed the closest with for a while, because we were both in the same part of our lives. They were those Tracy, Olivia. They were young. I mean, they were. I didn't have much in common with them outside of the show.
Yeah.
Well, I would run into Tracy down the shore a lot. We'd run into each other over the summer, and it was like seeing an old friend. We'd give each other a big hug and a kiss, and we'd catch up and stuff. But it wasn't. I didn't keep in contact with them because there was a problem or we didn't get along or anything. We were at different places in our lives.
Yeah. No, that makes so much sense.
Yeah, because of your age, and then you seeing, you knew way more. You probably were never going to be taken advantage of the rest of them because they were so young and a little bit more immature. Did you ever need to step in and be like, that's not cool, don't do that with the producers? Because what we've heard where the producers did such crazy things to all the cast, and I think they took advantage of their age. Did you get to see that?
I mean, I wouldn't say take advantage of. I mean, there was a lot of stuff going on, and there were scenes that they did that I wasn't even around for.
Yeah.
So I can't say that I saw everything, but we all kind of had each other's back a little bit. I would say we had each other's back. If we didn't like something, we talked about it.
Good. Okay.
I just don't think that they would mess with you because you are, a little bit older than them, mature versus a 20-year-old, where they're
it wasn't so much messing with. It was listen, they had their job to do. We had our job to do. They watched out for their interests, and it was up to us to watch out for our interests.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't begrudge them for doing anything. They had their job to do. That was to make a television show.
Right.
At any means possible. And they used any means possible.
Yeah.
If someone came in right now to Anthony Roberts' salon and was like, let's film and do something kind of similar, would you do it?
I mean, would I do it? I would have to think long and hard about it.
Yeah. Did it bring you a lot of business?
Yeah, it was great for that. Business-wise, and putting myself on the map in the hair world, I couldn't have reached the heights that I reached without the show. And I guess it didn't work.
Someone's calling.
Don't get it up front. There's no way that I could have gotten the things that I've done in the beauty world without the show. That's why I see it through different, a different lens than they do. Because, I used it for a different reason. Once we realized that we weren't going to become super famous, had we been on a different network, we could have been I think we probably would have eclipsed Jersey Shore, or we would have put Jersey Housewives. We were on a much smaller network.
Yeah.
We didn't have the reach that those other, but I think our show was if just as good, if not better than those other shows. Had we been on Bravo, had we been on MTV, it would have been we'd been having a whole different conversation right now.
Yeah, and a lot longer too, maybe. So
we filmed 100 episodes.
I know.
Episodes.
When I did a rewatch, I'm rewatching 25 episodes a season. I'm like, does this ever end? Like, does this? It kept going and going and going, and they had content for you guys too.
And here's the thing: that last season, Style Network got sold or it got rebranded or whatever. They didn't end the show because of lack of viewership or they ran out of content. We literally ended the show because our network went out of business.
Yeah.
So there's no telling how many more seasons we could have done.
Right. Did they promise you a spinoff?
No, I was never promised a spinoff.
Okay, because it sounds like majority of the other ones were promised a spinoff, and you do have your own salon, so I would think.
No, we never had a conversation of a spinoff.
Did your, friends, did they know that there was not, like, the show wasn't completely real? Were people around you in New Jersey, were they aware of this?
Well, I mean, I think New Jersey probably realized it more than any other state. Like I said before, you could sit here and have the cast of Jersey Housewives on. You could have the cast of Jersey Shore on. It's the same thing. They went through the same thing we did. Okay. One of the cameramen told me one time, I think the only reality show that was 100% reality was Big Brother. Not Big Brother, excuse me. What was the one that was on MTV?
Survivor?
When they all lived in the house on MTV.
The Challenge or Big Brother? I mean, Big Brother, they did live in the house.
Was it? No, was it? It was on MTV with
the Real World of
Real World.
Okay.
They would just outfit that house with like 60 cameras.
Yeah.
And then they would just let them go.
Yeah.
They would just take their live. They would just take pieces of that and edit it down. That's a reality show. Everything else you see on TV is somehow pushed along.
Yeah. So it's crazy because I was talking to Alexa and she said, while you talk about your business booming, she said after one season, her business, everything she worked towards went to 1 stars and, everyone was against her. Did you see her behind the scenes kind of suffer or struggle, or just what we saw on the show?
She was, like I said, again, I'm not really a great interviewer because I'm not giving you I got along with everyone. I really did. I got along with them all. I love Alexa. She was a sweetheart. She got her own, she did get a spinoff.
Oh, yeah, she
did. She got a spinoff. She got Glam Fair.
Yeah.
I think I might have filmed one episode of Glam Fair. I think they had us on for one episode as like a cameo, like crossover type thing. But I don't know what went on over there. So I don't know, how the filming went over there. I can't speak to that.
Like no one ever came to you and vented about how frustrated they were about something?
That's all we did was vent to each other.
Outside of the cameras, did they come to you and vent? Yeah.
That's what we would do was vent to each other. Like any other job. It was a job. We got paid. It was a job. You ever have a bad day at work and you're in the coffee room and you the girl at the back of work are talking about they're talking about the boss or talking about this other. That's all we did was vent to each other all day long.
Yeah. Okay, so then I have to ask, how did Filippo's mom get involved with the salon?
That was all 100%. That was all 100% put on. She was never a part of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so then how did that even happen? That was the most random thing ever. Her and you partnering with each other. How did you agree to that?
Okay, so I was the first salon was smaller. I was before the season would start, before we would start filming every season, they would come and ask us what's going on in your life? What do you want? Because they would try to take truths, and then they would it would be like truths on steroids. You know what I'm saying? So they would find out what was going on in our lives, and they would find out what we had going on and what was new and this and that. And if there was something to change, so I had said, look, I think I'm outgrowing this salon. I'm thinking about the chance of expanding. Boom! That's what it's like. The light bulb goes off over their head. So then they helped. Like I said, I wouldn't be sitting in this salon today if it wasn't for Jerseylicious.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
they helped me a lot with that. But now here's the thing: they're going to help me with it, but we're going to do it their way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did I really? So there's where the truth and real and produced kind of cross that line. So yes, was I really looking to open up a salon? Yes. Now they're going to do it with the most drama and most weird. They're going to find a way to make it fun.
Right.
Who wants to see an episode where I'm thinking about wallpaper? It's boring. But now you add Philly's mom, and now all of a sudden she comes in with, and she's a larger than life character. And now you got an episode.
Yeah.
And that's TV.
But how did his mom even get involved? Like,
she's have you talked to Mrs. Giovee?
No, I know, but it just because she didn't have any salon experience, and I was like,
gotta remember, Philly wasn't even driving when we were doing the show.
Oh my God!
He had just gotten his license. I forget, but they used to have. One of them would take him to the set.
Oh my gosh!
And she's exactly how you see her. That's how she is in real life.
Yeah,
she's
There were moments I was watching and I could tell in your face, especially now that I know, a lot of this wasn't real. And I can see in your face, you're like dying with how she's reacting to things. And you're just doing your best to kind of deal with it. Was that true? Like, were you kind of maybe like irritated by it? Or you're like, I can't believe I'm doing this? Or
I think as the show went on, I think as the seasons went on, it started getting a little bit feel more like a job than fun.
Yeah.
And I think that might be, at the time, you got to remember too, at the time, I'm really building out a salon. So I'm really going through the real life stuff that isn't fun, that wasn't, that nobody want to put on camera. So I'm really going through that stuff. Plus I'm not home. I got a young son at home. I'm putting in hours at the salon. Because you got to remember too, I never filmed when I was open here. So we filmed everything at the salon when we were closed.
Yeah.
In the nighttime, which is crazy.
So I would work a full day and then film at night.
Yeah.
Well, I got a young son at home. I got a wife who, although she understood and she got it, she's like, you're out of the house 20 hours a day.
Yeah, I'd go off on my husband for that because that is just too much. Even though it's a job, it's too much.
So there's where you might see some of the agitation.
Yeah. So Kathy did not invest in the salon.
No, Kathy, she did not invest in the salon.
She was kind of convincing.
It's good, right?
She acted really mad, like she invested in the salon. So that's a big deal.
I mean, I think when the episode airs where I kind of buy her out and stuff.
Yeah.
I think she kind of really got mad because she thought that I was going to cut down on her filming.
Oh.
I think she got really mad at me because I think she thought that I was going to but like I said, she never invested in it. And just I don't know the pizza world. She don't know the hair salon world, but she's fantastic. And she made great television.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll go ahead.
I was gonna say, was your goal in it for the salon and because you guys weren't making a lot of money per episode. We found that out too. You guys made nothing, literally nothing compared to what people make.
No.
So, your motive wasn't to get that money. It wasn't about the money. Was it just you had the biggest game plan of saying this can really help my salon in my future?
Well, I think once we saw, I was like, all right, where could this go? What could I use? If this show wants to use me for something, what could I use the show for?
Yeah.
And that's how I got the idea of maybe an expansion and moving into another salon.
So, okay, with you and Gail kept pushing back. Was that, but you actually seemed genuinely irritated by that. Was that fake? Because you guys were going to do a salon together. You guys were going to do a salon together, you and Gail.
Oh,
and Yeah, and Gail kept, see, you forgot. And Gail, I'm telling you, I just did a rewatch.
Yeah.
Gail kept pushing back and she was like, I don't want to do it. She was like making excuses. And you seemed annoyed. Like that didn't seem fake to me, but maybe it was. Were you guys ever really going to do something together?
No, we were never going to really do something together.
Oh my gosh. Like that is, okay, that's like a big deal. That was like a couple episodes.
Yeah. They opened up like a kids salon or something like that.
Yes, there was, well, at
That
first it
was
wasn't. Then it was like a men's salon. Then it was like a kids salon. And then there was like a scene where you had a guys' night to bring guys in the, and then, yeah, but
Alexa shows up and everything.
Yes. Yeah. But that was confusing to me too, because that kind of looked legit because she looked like, not like a hot mess express, but she looked like she just got out of her bed and she's coming. And so I was like, was that real? Like she was very irritated.
We were probably filming for 14 hours at that point. She probably wanted to go home.
Wow.
Like what you guys went through is just crazy.
That's why she probably looks like she's aggravated. She probably was aggravated.
Yeah. I did want to say one more thing about Philly's mom. So she was crying a lot throughout the partnership. Was that all acting?
I gotta say, yeah, I would think, probably, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Did the host Vivica, when she did the reunions, did she know that a lot of these storylines are fake?
I would assume. I don't know. I guess.
Because there were times that she was crying too, and I was like, "Why are you crying?"
She's an actress. I mean, that's
I know that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I would expect it from her.
Yeah. So you said that Tracy's ex-husband really loved her, genuinely loved her, not for a spinoff. Now that they're divorced, do you believe that he genuinely did love her, or was being on the show something that was exciting for him? You're like, did I say that? You did say that on the show.
I think being on the show was exciting to him.
Oh, you do?
100%.
Wow, that's so sad because they have children.
I feel bad because I think Tracy. I don't think Tracy. Look, and again, I got along with Corey. He was a nice kid, and I hope Tracy doesn't want to, kill me for this, but I think that was. I don't think that wedding should have ever took place on the show. They should have. If they were really meant for one another, they should have let that grow organically and not let it grow on TV.
Yeah.
I think had that happened, I think Tracy. Now listen, she got 3 beautiful children out of it.
Yeah.
So I can't say it was a mistake because she got 3 beautiful children, and she's blessed beyond belief.
Right.
But I wish, if you ask me, do I think they should have? I just wish that would have grown more organically than grown in the eyes of a television show.
Yeah. I do believe, though, that Tracy did love this man so much, but I agree with you. Watching back and knowing what we know now, I feel like the show was very exciting for him. I think he of course, she's beautiful. Why wouldn't he love her? But I do think
he was hanging around the scene for seasons before, hanging around the set for 2 seasons before that, before they even started dating.
Oh my gosh. What was he doing? Oh, no way. I didn't know that.
Showing up one day, hanging out.
Oh, wow. So that's probably another reason why so many people.
Then they met. They were both young. She's beautiful. He's a handsome kid. They were young at the time. They started talking. I don't even know what happened. I don't even know how it happened. Next thing I know, I come to the seat and they're boyfriend, girlfriend. This is how unattached I was to any of that.
Yeah.
I was going home at the end of the scene. I wasn't going out. I don't know what was going on. With their love lives. I come in also, good, they're together. Oh, God bless. Corey and Tracy are together. Oh, good for them.
Yeah.
That was the extent of it. Like I said, I just wish that relationship had a chance to grow on its own.
Yeah. What do you think?
Weren't they promised a spinoff as well? So that that was always in their back of their heads. Let's do everything for the show because we're gonna get a spinoff with each other. Again,
I can't speak to anybody. The only one that I know that was promised a spinoff, I got it was Alexa. Everybody else, if they were promised a spinoff, I 100% right hand to God have no idea.
Yeah, Frankie and Tracy both said that they were promised a spinoff.
Who's that? Tracy and who else?
Frankie.
Again,
Frankie, Frankie with. I don't know if it's Frankie though, but
I was never offered a spinoff. Now I feel bad. Everybody was offered a spinoff on me.
I was another thing about Philly's mom. A lot of people were asking, was Gail genuinely not into Philly's mom? Did she really not like her?
No, not that I saw. I thought they got along. Again, they filmed what they were supposed to film with each other. They both did their job.
How did you guys get acting lessons?
No, we never got acting lessons.
Okay. So you guys just like figured it out. Like, hey, we're gonna make this. Oh my gosh. Okay.
You deserve Emmys because
you do deserve that. You definitely what were your thoughts on Gigi and Frankie's relationship?
Again, when they were together when we started filming the show. Yeah. And they weren't. People break up.
You really liked Gigi.
Gigi, it's funny. I like Gigi, but Gigi was the one that I probably wasn't as close with off of filming.
Oh,
I don't know why. Nothing against her. She was again. She was a sweetheart. You know, I truly liked her, but you know, me and her just didn't have any. I had less of a off-screen relationship with her than I did with the other cast members.
They made it like you guys had this like really sweet relationship where you always had her back. That's and I didn't see that with any of the other people. I saw that with you and Gigi. Like you were always protecting Gigi and you always had such kind things to say about her. So it was like this like brotherly sister relationship.
Because I did like her. I did like her. Yeah. You know, but she was a little bit more quiet outside the filming than the rest of the girls.
Well, what did you think about how she acted a few seasons after, where it was like night and day?
I mean, she was doing her job.
Yeah. But it's so crazy. But I also feel like because you're so young, you're like, whatever, I'm willing to act this way and then let the world think I'm this type of way. And I mean, you stayed true to yourself. You always acted the same. But I feel like that comes with age where you're like, no, I'm not going to do that.
But again, also, the show wasn't as much about me as it was about them.
Yeah. You know? But I feel like it was about you. You need to do a rewatch yourself.
It was about me, but it was Olivia Tracy.
Yeah.
And then kind of right in that was the Gigi Frankie relationship.
Yeah.
Nico and Christy, although we were main cast members and we had a big part in it, and you know, I'm not going to take it away from the three of us. We were part of the vehicle that drove them.
Yeah.
Right. Was Jackie really your employer, or did the show cast her?
I think Jackie was one of the original cast members. Again, Jackie was originally cast on the show, and then for some reason she was not. And then I think when the show took off, she wanted to hang. There was a lot of hangers on. There was a lot of people that showed up that just wanted to be a part of something. Next thing you know, Jackie was back.
Yeah. Okay. So how hard did it get at times when things were actually really hot and not scripted? Not that it was actually scripted, but you know what I mean, where they're like, hey, you and Philly's mom are going to act like you want to do a business with each other. So when someone may have said something, did it get hot for you where you're like, okay, I have to realize this is my job?
Yeah, like, you know, all right. But I think by that part of the show, we all understood what was going on. And it was like, okay, what's going to get me home faster?
Yeah, that's what everyone kept saying. That's like what Frankie said. That's like what Tracy has been saying. It's like, because you guys work such long and late hours, you're just like, let me give them what they want so I can go.
Yeah. See, you got to remember the show, like when they made a lot of offers. Like one of the things they made to me, they would have paid my rent on the salon when we were filming.
Ooh.
But then they would be able to control when we filmed.
Oh.
So if they wanted to film at 2:00 in the afternoon on a Saturday, I would have to close down. So I never accepted that offer. So I never let them pay my rent. So
I thought they paid your rent.
No, they never paid my rent.
Wow. Because I thought that was for sure a perk for you.
No way. Because it wouldn't have been a perk.
Wow.
Yeah, closing down on a Saturday would
they were like, we're filming Saturday. No, you're not. So we would film. I'd work all day till 5 o'clock on a Saturday, and then at 5:30 they would come rolling in, take 3 hours to set the lighting up in the salon and do everything to set up in the salon. Then we wouldn't start filming until 9, 10 o'clock at night.
Wow. How about Gail's salon? Hers was paid for.
I can't speak to that. I don't know what she got.
Yeah. Oh, I feel like Anthony, you're so sweet. You're like very politically correct. You're like, let me make sure. Gail also has come out and done an interview where she was like, everything was fake as hell. So that's why like we were just all shocked by this because we had saw that with Gail and we were like, let's get Tracy on, let's get Frankie on, let's get anyone that we could. Like we wanted to hear from you because you were a main character. I mean, you're Anthony Robert Salon, like that's all we knew. And so many episodes focused on you.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, there was a lot, again, you know, I mean, they were very, we made a television show.
Yeah.
We made a television show. And it was great. And it was a part of my life that I'll never forget, but it was just that. It was a television show. You could ask Teresa from The Housewives. You could ask Paulie D from Jersey Shore. They're going to tell you the same thing. They made a TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah. We found out that Tracy and Olivia, they made $3K as well as Gigi. Did you guys make that much money per episode?
I think I was making a little bit under that per episode.
Well, you're a businessman. Why didn't you ever ask for more?
I mean,
because you guys are significantly underpaid.
Because I got a salon that if it would have cost me $500,000 to open up, probably only cost me $200,000 to open up. And I'm just giving you a round number. I'm not giving you round numbers.
Yeah.
Because you had to find the value elsewhere. What was I going to do? Go home and stomp my feet and cry for another, $500, $1,000 an episode?
Yeah.
Right. When I could sit there, I could sit back, relax, show up on time every week, and then you notice that there were perks. You just had to look for them.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And do people, so you still own a salon. Is it the same salon that you had owned that we saw on the show?
Same salon that I built out in the show.
Wow. Okay. So you stayed there and you're working there 5 days a week. Like you're doing hair still.
I'm still doing
You're not just running it?
No, I'm still here doing hair. I'm still doing, but who made out? Who made out 15 years later? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
I got a salon. I wouldn't be sitting in the salon right now if it wasn't for the show. No, so I can't 100%. I can't 100% sit here and badmouth them because they were, Tracy was put in a bad situation. She was a good person put in a bad situation who went with it. I had an entirely different, experience.
Right.
And I still don't think she would even regret it because, it put her to where she is now and she's still thriving. So like, it's life experience. It's crazy. But
she went her route and is doing fantastic with it. I stayed, I didn't want that. I'm not going to sit there and make 100 Instagram posts a day, but was her path. I took my path. We all took the path. I think we all ended up coming out of it okay at the end.
Yeah. Have you talked to Olivia or anything? Did you maintain a relationship with her?
I mean, we have we have a text every once in a while. We'll text each other, wish each other happy birthday, happy holidays. And we had a dinner that we all went out for. Tracy didn't come, but I understand why. And it was her, it was up to her. And, Miguel, Alexa, Christy, Olivia. Yeah, Christy, Gail, and me. We went out to dinner one time right before like the pandemic shut down. We were planning on doing more, and it never really happened.
Wow, I think we're gonna come to Jersey and we're gonna coordinate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So another question one of our listeners asked was, who was the most real, both on and off the show?
Who was the most real? I don't think anybody was not. I mean, I don't think Tracy was half the villain that they portrayed her to be.
Yeah.
I mean, so in that respect, I would say Tracy was probably the least like her character because, she was one of the nicest people.
Right.
But I think everybody else kind of like, I don't think nobody wasn't 100% themselves.
Yeah. Okay. And by the way, do you watch The Real Housewives of New Jersey?
I mean, I've seen episodes, but I don't watch it.
Yeah. Okay. So our last question that we have for you is, do you have any regrets about joining the show?
No, I have no regrets whatsoever. It was a great, I mean, how many people get to say they got to be on a television show?
Right.
There was like I said before, I hate to sound like a broken record. It was a job. We did a job. There's going to be days. There's going to be days at your job that you hate. There's going to be days at your job that you love. There's going to be people on the show that people that you work with that you don't really get along with. People that you work with that you love. They're going to be asked to do things at a job that you don't like to do. But you know what? It's a job. You had and you're going to do your job, and that's what we did. And I think we did it good.
Yeah.
You guys did. You guys definitely did.
Because we're still talking about it 15 years later. So, we're still.
And that's some great. I mean, did you see the episode where I write the book?
Oh, yes.
I sell those books. I'm still selling those books.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it helped you with your business because you were consistent. You weren't like pretending to do hair and makeup. Not saying they were pretending, but like this was something you did full time before the show.
That was one thing I could say. Like, I wish we did more hair. I wish we did more hair than we did on the show.
Yeah. Wait, I do have one other question. Why did they not show you guys actually doing people's hair?
Because they were actors.
Time constraints. A lot of it.
Okay.
You couldn't have blow dryers going because it would affect the microphones.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So we'd have to. All the times you see us with a microphone, with a blow dryer in our hand, the microphones aren't. The blow dryers aren't going.
Wow. It's so interesting.
Yeah. I mean, we had a mic. We were mic'd up, whole thing.
Yeah.
Everything.
Wow.
You got to be careful too. Like when we be filming, they still have the mics on it. You had to we learned really quick to shut the mics off and how to pull the plugs out of the mic because they do that. You want to talk about were we venting to each other? Yeah, we were venting to each other. All of us mic'd up, so we had to figure out how to shut the mics off. We learned
right.
that.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Well, we appreciate you coming on. People were dying to hear from you. We're so excited to share this.
It was
and
fun.
we thank you for everything. And we wish you all the success. It looks like you're still killing it. So you deserve that.
I wish there's days I wish, we were on a bigger network and we would have exploded a little more. But, this is it. I love doing what I do. I love doing hair. I love being here. And, I wouldn't trade it for anything else. The show was great. It was like I said, it was a dream come true. Not that I ever dreamed about being on TV, but, it was a dream come true. It wasn't all sunshine and rainbows, and it wasn't all a dark cloud. Yeah. There were days filled with both. But, everybody took out of it, like I said, if I could say one thing, and I wish everybody sees this, that, stop giving Tracy the bad rap. I mean, she's not that person. Yeah, and we've talked to her so many times, and 15 years later, people are still wishing her dead and shit like that. Like that's not cool. Right. That's not cool. Yeah. No, yeah, we appreciate you saying that. Well, thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate you. And we hope you have a wonderful day. All right. What time? Oh, look, I gotta go. We appreciate you.